All right, let's do this real off the cuff then. We are live. What's going on, Willimantic Records? Can you guys clap so we can prove there's people here so we're not psychos? Okay, and they can pick up the microphones all good. This is I Can't Comedy. This is where we take old comedy records from the past, obviously, and comedians of today listen to them and figure out, are these jokes timeless? Do they stand the test of time? You know, we've done a ton of episodes. I'd say 5,000 episodes here.
Yeah.
That's close.
Yes,
four.
yes.
We've done 4.
We have been going since May of '78.
Yeah. Some of these albums, like this
Some might
exact
say we
date.
have ones of episodes.
No. I'm really excited for this episode. We should introduce ourselves first. I wasn't ready to do this. Let's just go down the line. We got famous comedian Clancy. You can clap. I don't know. Someone went to clap and then I didn't know.
Fame.
Then we have mediocre me, Brian Barbecue, and then comedy legend Rodney Norman in the building.
Please.
Yeah, I had to let him know you were a legend, dude. Yeah, I'm fried. We just drove in from Potsdam, New York. I'm trying to fix this microphone still. What are we doing today? We're doing Mr. Phyllis, Joan Rivers, her first album. I'm super excited about this.
Me too, and so is our good friend Max back there. Oh, also say hello to our live studio audience.
Yeah, studio
Yeah,
audience,
studio
clap for
audience.
yourselves. We got a lot of people. There's Meat Slap Hats in the building. Got Dick Goldscombe, Eric Pumpkins, Jeff DeCaro, people, other names. I just realized I didn't know everyone's name exactly, so I was like, all right, not naming it.
And most importantly, we have Joe.
We have a guy standing up. We have one guy.
Hello.
Yeah, Willimantic Records,
Joe and
absolutely.
Willimantic Records.
I'm just here to shop around.
Oh, we
And
have one
someone's
guy on the
shopping
fence.
around.
Perfect. All right, he's shopping around. He might. And
Fantastic.
do you like stand-up comedy?
From time to time, yeah.
From time to time, who's your favorite stand-up comedian?
Ronnie Shakes.
I like Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield. That's a solid choice. I was not expecting that. Not from that body
Max,
language.
what was his
no.
real name?
Long Island, where I'm from.
What's Rodney's real name, Max? What's Rodney Dangerfield's real name?
His real name is his first stage name was Jack Roy, only because his father, Phil Roy, who was a vaudevillian, he named himself Phil Roy, and Rodney took his last name, but then he changed it. But his real name is Cohen. Oh gosh,
Is it Jacob Cohen?
Cohen.
Fun fact about me, I have met Sinbad.
This is amazing. I love Sinbad, actually. He's one of my favorite comedians.
He's
I've
touring, by the way, this year.
Hell yeah.
Watch him in
I've worked with him. He's bought me lunch.
Savannah, Durham.
Wow.
Really? That's
Yeah.
really genuinely nice of him. They don't have to do that for us.
Jacob Cohen.
Jacob
His real name
Cohen.
is Jacob Cohen.
Is he one of the Cohen brothers? Is that not how it works? I don't know. Like how Nick Cage is like a Coppola. It's like, why don't you use that name?
Right?
Cage. He's like, no, I'm gonna be Nick Cage.
Nicholas Cage.
Oh my god. So I don't know. Who's a Joan Rivers fan? Are you a Joan Rivers fan? He sat all the way down, so I think he's in. He's like, I like Rodney Dangerfield.
Well, sort of.
Sort of. Oh, who's a Joan Rivers fan? Clap if you like Joan Rivers.
Only from Shrek 2.
Is she in Shrek
Okay.
2?
I do not know. Not brushed up on my
She is
Shrek
the voice
facts.
of a person.
Yeah?
Ah.
Yeah.
Who
Okay,
she
who here
plays?
despises Joan Rivers and wants to leave as soon as we start playing the album?
Margaret Cho's here.
Margaret Child.
Oh, I love Margaret Cho.
She's funny.
I met
Yeah.
her too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, so
He's
you
got
went
good
from
I've
being
met
a
credits.
somewhat comedy fan to a comedy connoisseur.
I'm a musician, actually.
What do you play?
Okay.
Guitars and bass.
Guitars and bass.
Oh,
Have
okay.
you ever heard of Jaco Pastorius?
No. Can't say that I have. Wait, has Sinbad ever
need
bought
to.
you lunch though? Yeah, that's show business.
Have I ever told you guys? Have I told you guys my Margaret Cho story?
No.
He allowed me to be in his movie, though.
Sinbad?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which
Was
one?
it that Kazam?
Wait,
movie
what the
that
fuck is
actually
happening?
Just a
No, it was Sinbad with the late Phil Hartman called House Guest.
house guest.
Oh, just one of the best movies of all time. You're in House Guest, sir?
Yes.
I think I just got fired from the show and that guy's
No,
the
he did
host
not.
now.
That's
Hey,
so
Rodney.
dope.
Somebody went up.
Rodney, who was your favorite comedian?
My favorite comedian is Max Dolcelli.
Max Dolcelli?
He's my favorite comedian and heckler
No,
right
you know
now.
what? Growing up, my favorite was Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart, brilliant.
Yeah.
How many people do listen to this podcast? I'm just curious.
Right now it's
6.
7.
Just us.
No, I'm talking about online.
Oh,
A few hundred.
let me get online. They could be one.
Yeah.
Cult-like following.
That's a pretty big cult. A few hundred people.
Yeah, cult.
I would do that cult.
We haven't got any of them to send us money yet.
Yeah.
But-
We have gotten them to wear beanies.
I think we do
though,
have a
they need
donation cup in the back. No one's ever put money in.
On tour.
Okay. This guy's our manager now. Okay, if you can get us some house guests too, that would be great.
the house guest thing.
I have some available. I
Yeah.
can send
I
you.
don't know if there's a sequel to that because Phil's no longer with
Yeah. Yeah, Max.
Yeah. Tell these guys about that comedian from Utah that opened for me once, who used to drag an axe. Used to drag an axe on stage with him. I kid you not. This guy was the darkest comic I'd ever seen.
Yes, he was.
I genuinely want to hear this actually.
Okay, his name was Lane Fox, and he would come out on. He would have long dark hair, long dark beard, an overcoat that went all the way to the ground, big, thick, heavy black boots, and he would come in with a double-headed axe, and he would drag it onto the stage. And one of my favorite jokes that I've ever heard was somebody was telling me one of his jokes was, and he had this very slow delivery. He was like, so there's a lot of children that like to take apart their toys to see how they work. I had a puppy.
He was funny.
And all of his jokes were of that vein.
He was like Anthony Jeselnik with an axe.
Yes.
Anthony Jeselax.
Yes.
It's before his time. That's awesome.
Oh, my Margaret Cho story. I gotta share this with you. Now, okay, in her defense, she is
Great start.
Joan who?
Margaret Cho.
Oh.
Have you worked with Maggie? Mags?
Oh, you're on nicknames.
Well, it was funny because the week that she came to our club, she had just broken up with her boyfriend, who happened at the time to be the manager of, what's his name? Emo Phillips. Emo Phillips.
Another brilliant.
And Emo Phillips was going to be there at the club the weekend after Margaret was there. So we had pictures of him up all over the place, advertising the show. When she came in, she walked in, looked at the pictures, walked out and said that she would not enter the room until all of the pictures of Emo Phillips were taken down because it made her sad.
Wow.
So
I
we
would
had
do
to
that too, just in
Who's the
general.
emo
On general
one now?
principle.
Yeah, which is, whatever.
Take the picture
But
of
no,
that
it
old
was
Danish
funny.
boy.
But it was interesting. I could pick her up at the airport. She would not refer to me. I'm driving around in a van. She would not refer to me in person. She had to go through her road manager, and they would only call me the driver.
Wow.
In fact, the entire weekend, all I was referred to was the driver.
Oh
So,
boy.
so we're driving. You pick her up at the airport. We're taking her to the hotel, and she goes, "Could you ask the driver if we could stop for a moment because I need to pick up a few personal items?" And so and she's literally sitting here. I'm right here. It's a minivan. I'm like, and so the road manager leans over. "Excuse me, driver." They never bothered to ask me. "Driver, Maggie would like to stop. Is there some place between here and the hotel?" And I said, "Yeah, there's a little convenience store right here. Would this work?" And she goes, "Well, just a second. Let me find out." And she turns and goes, "Maggie, there's a store coming up. Do you think it's a little convenience store? Would that be okay?" And she goes, "Fine. Is it just a gas station or do they have other things?" "Just a second. Excuse me, driver, do they have a lot of or is it personal hygiene, Maggie?" And she's like, "Well, yes." "Are there feminine products at this place?" And I go, yeah, they have that stuff as far as I know." And she goes, "Okay, just a second." "Maggie, they do." And
Oh my God.
she goes, "Okay, well, tell them that this will be acceptable."
Wow.
Okay, we
that's
can stop here.
acceptable.
So meanwhile, I've had to slow down because we're about to pass the place, waiting to have this conversation. So I pull in, I stop, and as they're getting out, she goes, "Tell the driver to stay with the car."
Oh my God.
I'm like, okay, whatever. So they go in, and we drop them off. And then I had to run and get, after I dropped her off at the hotel, I had to go and pick up her items that she needed for the green room, right? One of those things was 24 tall bottles of Evian water. 24.
24 of them.
24,
Wow.
24 bottles, the full 1 liter bottles.
Side note, she drink them all?
Oh no. We were said
There's no.
none of them were to be opened, and if they were prepackaged in the plastic, to leave them that way, so that nothing's messed with. So she comes, she does her show. She's very funny. She has a lot of people go crazy for her and everything. So we go back to the thing, and she has me load all the water up into the van, and we take it to the hotel. Take her to the hotel. She gets out. They go about their business, and they took all the water with them. I had to go buy more water for the next night. I find out the reason why from her opener. She bathes only in Evian water at that time because she was worried about foreign water.
God.
She didn't want to bathe in foreign water because it would make her sick, so she only bathed in Evian
That's not how that
water.
worked. That's not what Montezuma's Revenge is about.
It was pretty fascinating. But that's my Margaret Cho stories.
Wow.
Now
So
you.
what is she doing now?
I hated all of that, Rodney. I felt bad. Imagine if it was a good comedian that did that.
Brian, could you tell the driver to tell another great story?
Yes, if you could please just refer to me as the driver.
Oh my God.
You guys ever appearances on Willie FM by any chance?
No.
No, is that the radio station around here?
That's based out of here.
Are you an affiliate of them?
No, it's one of the stations in the top 40 network.
We should get something on the radio. I feel like we could do it. We'll play an album. We'll do
You'll get a
something.
bigger one.
We could.
Yeah. This guy's got all the right ideas. What's your name? So I stop calling you house guest?
I used to work in radio years ago.
Of course he did.
We just picked up management. Is what we did.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is the
Great.
perfect audience plant or like this is a pathological liar. Like,
But the internet, kind of like, still, 2/3 of the people out there still listen to radio and television.
For
So-
sure.
I believe that
I'm
statistic
sure that
on
statistic.
just this guy.
Fox. What are the chances
to know
Margaret
the
Cho
person.
put this guy in a movie?
Well,
Did she?
No,
Okay,
but Sinbad did.
Hell yeah.
he did.
That's only one. My
That's
dream, of
one more
course,
Sinbad.
I think I believe him because he's sticking to it. He's sticking pretty hard to the Sinbad story, and he does like Phil Hartman a lot. All right, we should dive into Joan Rivers. Does anyone have any Joan Rivers stories? The guy that did left, but
Sadly, I never got a chance to meet her.
yeah.
She was killed by the deep state.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the little video of just before she died?
No.
She was on the street, somebody's interviewing her, and she made the statement. She says, Obama is a gay man, and Michelle Obama is a tranny, and everybody knows it. And then she died shortly after. So there's a lot of, there's controversy that she was in fact killed by the deep state because she revealed
Oh my God.
that deep secret.
Yeah, did she get it from Kenya, where he was born a few years before Kenya was a country? Did she get it from there? Because that's one of my other favorite theories about him.
Oh man.
Obama's from Kenya. Obama was born before Kenya was born. But good
Yeah.
What's
try.
that?
Swing and a miss. Should have
How funny
Googled
was
that.
Joan Rivers?
I love Joan Rivers.
In her day, I think she was probably one of the top. I would put her in the top 10 comics of all time.
I would agree with that because I was thinking about it. I'd usually do a little bit of research, but like you have to remember, like if you guys all know Johnny Carson, she was gonna replace or like compete with Johnny Carson, right?
Yeah.
And then she got blacklisted because she was gonna have her own show.
Since I'm a musician,
Yep.
my favorite comic musician of all time is Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Brian kind of looks like him.
I do. But
So,
A little bit.
I definitely don't know if her Obama joke stands the test of time. But
It wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
I just
she
wanted
was
to
out.
you don't know that. She could have just
Yeah,
been
I
like
heard.
open mic in it, and she didn't have she couldn't get to Eastville in time to run that 7:00 mic. It's like I'll just say it on the news or go to Eastville. And then try and do New York Comedy Club right after this. No, but this is her first album. It's Joan Rivers Presents Mr. Phyllis and Other Funny Stories. And God, I was just reading the back of this before I even started doing research, and it has like this little informational. It's a little like essay. It says, "What's a Joan Rivers?" by Bill Cosby. So it's like, yes, he's
Does not stand the test of time.
his actions do not stand the test of time, but I think you have to like, whether you like it or not, Cosby is regarded as one of the great comedians too of all time.
When did that come out? That Joan Rivers record.
This Joan Rivers record came out. Oh boy, he's gonna put me on the spot.
Look how pretty looking she was in the front cover.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what I said. It's the cutest picture.
Can you Google
She's
that for
so
me? I can't
cute.
find it.
Yeah. We had this.
All right. Do you guys
Around
want to hear
that.
what Bill Cosby reviewed? I think hearing it now in his words, and it's going to be me that cannot read. What's a Joan Rivers by Bill
65.
Cosby? 1965.
1965?
Okay, yeah. It's old.
Wow.
While you're reading the back of this album, while you're eating your bowl of cereal or your eggs of whatever, okay, I wish you'd take a look at the cover first. Take a look at the girl. She's a blonde. And of course she's a woman. Oh boy, Bill. You can see that. She's a comedian, and it's spelt like the feminine way. I don't know. It just sounds douchey coming from him. And the beautiful part about this comedian is that she's funny without doing all the stereotype things that blondes do to get a laugh. Joan Rivers is a funny woman. She will sit down and tell you about her wig that dropped off onto the street and the car that ran it over, marking it thereafter Firestone. She is a woman with a unique set of acquaintances, including the funniest hairdresser in the world, Mr. Phyllis, Joan, Mr. Phyllis and her wig, says Mr. Phyllis twice, are three very funny people. Oh, okay. Should have just kept reading. She will not pretend to be the dumbest girl in the world. Joan Rivers is a human being, not a kook. She is an intelligent girl without being a weirdo. Is that how you spell weirdo?
Nope.
There's a typo on
He
this.
did IE instead of EI.
Yeah.
Nice. Good catch.
What a fucking weirdo. Well, I'm like illiterate. She is a funny woman that you can love. And for you fellas who are not married, she is a girl that you can date. Oh, God damn it,
Wow.
dude. And so I say to you, if you would like to get a laugh from a woman who is basically funnier, parentheses, rather than being stupid, double parentheses, or one that says some of the dumbest things you've ever heard before, and double parentheses, then listen to Joan Rivers. She is highly believable. So I would say to you that Joan Rivers, in trying to describe her, is a very funny woman.
Wow.
Bill Cosby, everybody. Let him hear it, you guys.
How uncomfortable was that? Joan Rivers is a woman you can believe. Like,
That did not
bet you Bill-
sound
Bill thinks there's a lot of
condescending.
women you can't believe. That's for sure.
I think that was
But
a
Joan-
more innocent time for Bill.
Yeah, I think that at the time it was encouraging because he was. I, mean,
I agree.
When you look at it from our perspective, from now,
Yeah.
you're going, "Oh, wow, that's condescending." But at the time, nobody would say something about a woman comedian
Yeah.
in
Right.
that way. To
Yeah,
say, look,
it's, you know, the 60s.
she's not your typical comic. She's funny.
Yeah.
And today,
They hadn't been voting long
And, I mean-
at that point.
Oh, come on. You know.
They hadn't. I mean, like, it's like, I mean, this is not far off from, like, you know, where, like, a much darker time for women anyway. So it's like, it's pretty crazy to hear, like, you could talk about somebody like that. I mean, there's so many lines in there that are, like, absolutely bananas you couldn't say today.
Well, yeah,
That's for
today
sure.
it's like
Yeah.
enormously condescending.
Yeah.
But at the time,
you know how blondes are super dumb, right? This ain't one of them. She's
But
an
at the
alright
time,
blonde.
this
Get
is
up
how-
there.
but for its time,
Pinch.
this was how you were. This was being woke.
Right.
Was saying, "Hey, look,
Right.
she's funny.
Here's a woman who has something to
she
offer
doesn't
other
have
than her
to. She
looks.
doesn't have to be the typical
Right.
blonde bimbo to be funny."
Right.
Which
Yeah, I mean, I'm just reading this
It's
now.
just funny. It's funny to read it back now.
She did The Tonight Show in 1965, so the same year that this album came out. She did her Johnny Carson appearance.
Nice.
So I think we should start the album. Let's just
Okay,
dive
let's
in
do it.
Yeah.
and just let's check out some Joan Rivers shit. This thing's so dope. I know. I gotta get it. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's an old record, you guys. I don't even think there's an intro. I think it just goes right in.
I have a hairdresser named Mr. Phyllis, and I wanted some.
Can you guys hear it good?
His mother went to the a girl, you know, and got her. But anyhow, in spades. So anyhow, so Mr. Phyllis and I are very close. I don't know how much you know, but like we cut off my braids. We're like sisters, really, you know, intimate. And so I just came back from working in Pittsburgh, so I decided to buy Mr. Phyllis a gift. So I decided to buy Mr. Phyllis a wig, so I wanted to get the wig wholesale. Like, you probably don't know this. Like, I see a wig in Wig City. It looks okie dokie. But you don't know that wigs are bred on wig farms. And if you really are in, you go directly to the wig farm. All the wigs are running around. They're still alive when you pick out the one you want. The wigs are running. And I was like,
Is that true? Oh, I was like terrified. Like she just started screaming about wigs. This lady's a psycho. I love it. Okay, sorry, never mind.
I want to get a good wig, $10-15, you know, I'll blow it. So we go over to the wig farm, and you know, we're looking around. They take us over to the wig pen, and different wigs. The wig pen. Speak up, it's a small room. And you know, different wigs are bred for different things. Some wigs are bred to curl, and some wigs are bred to fluff and to Marcel. And I want to get like a nice wig for Mr. Phyllis. And I'm looking, and suddenly I spot maybe a stunning wig, a real knockout. It's long, blonde, silky hair, very, you know, wild, silky, good-looking wig. And I'm right about to say, "That's it," when suddenly something begins to lick my hand. And I look down, and it's the runt of the litter. How can you say no to a little cross-eyed wig who's just looking up at you with love in his eyes? And the love is missing you because of the crossed eyes, you know? And like, it had black roots and dandruff, you know, bald spots. But, you know, I'll lose a wig, but, you know, that's it, right? You know. And I figure, like, I'll take it home, and with love, anything can be made pretty. You know, like my mother's always saying, even attractive girls get married. And so, she says that often. But anyhow,
Like how that lady's
true
like,
lady
wow.
that she is. So anyhow, so I take the wig home, and I went out, and I didn't even do right by it, and I bought a book called Training You to Train Your Wig, and I was going to send him to wig obedience school, but I couldn't afford that. It's, you know, I don't want him to become a watch wig. I just want him to, So anyhow, and I bought wig food and wig bones. I don't think you should spoil a wig. Like, a lot of people don't feed their wigs wig food. Like, a lot of people say, like, my wig, how many times have your friend said to you, like, my wig won't touch wig food? Yeah. My wig, what Harry and I eat, the wig eats, you know? If it isn't chopped sirloin, the wig won't touch it. From Harry's mouth to the wig. I don't believe in this. If it's a wig, it should eat like good wig food. 59 cents a can, you know, good, but wig food. So I bought it the wig food and the little wig bones, and I would say to it things like, sit! Curl! Be a muff! Be a muff for mommy, and nothing. So I looked it up in the book, and the book said the reason the wig wasn't paying attention because it didn't have a name. Because, like, to get the most out of a wig, you got to give it a name. So I didn't know what to name it. Like, what, you know, first, I didn't know, what do you name a wig? First of all, I didn't know if it was a boy or girl. Because, where do you look, you know? So finally I named it Sydney. Because, like, you can do anything with Sydney, you know? It's like, in England, boys, girls, everything's named Sydney, you know? So, and I gave it to Mr. Phyllis, and tragedy struck. Yes, friends. Mr. Phyllis one day started to tease him, and it bit him.
Oh, I think she separated like sketches. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't like my favorite thing I've ever heard, but it was like funny to just keep calling an animal a wig.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts?
Well, calling a wig an animal.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah, sorry.
It was a really, it was a long walk for me personally. I just didn't love the concept, so I was just like, all right, I get it. But like, that's just because I didn't love the concept. She's cute as hell though. Like, she just peppers in a lot of really cute, funny like moments.
The way she says
like,
it, yeah.
Even if I don't love the bit, there's like moments in there where I'm like, hot. Like, she wouldn't said that thing.
Yeah.
Like, she just like
Yeah.
peppers it in.
But I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Like, I don't even know where to look.
Yeah,
Like,
she
that's
just has like
funny.
really silly little cutesy things in there that I really liked.
Yeah.
But I didn't overall that bit just wasn't for me personally.
All right. Well, fuck you, Mr. Phyllis. Oh shit. Just turn it off. Straight
Mr.
up.
Phil's had a lot of
Album's
tragedy.
over.
All because of me, too, which upsets me. I had mentioned his name on the Johnny Carson show, and a lot of people really listen, to what, you say on the show. And I'd say, look, I have a hairdresser, Mr. Phyllis. And the very next day, he got a lot of phone calls, plus a couple of new customers. And he he was downstairs in the shop, busy teasing and carrying on. And somebody broke through his Tiffany glass door, broke into his apartment, and stole all his valuables, including his roommate. And they thought it was a piece of pop art and just,
First applause break.
That Andy Warhol's fantastic. The eyes move on this baby, My father, was a doctor or a healer. And my father has a patient who's in the used car business. And my father saved this man's wife's life. And this man never forgot this. Or forgave my father. And he's like, I'll get you yet, Doc. Anyhow, so he got me. But I lived in Westchester before I got my apartment. And I used to drive back and forth into the city, and I needed a car desperately. So my father got this man to get me a second-hand Volksbus. And at first, I was just delighted, it only cost 400 new marks. And it had only been driven on Sundays by a German family down to Argentina. So I think, great. But then, little things about the Volksbus got me nervous, because every time we'd stop for a red light, people would try to get on. And so finally, the car breaks down. I'm driving downtown to the club where I work, and it's 11:30 at night, and I'm on the West Side Parkway, and I'm all dressed up because I'm going to work, and I have my wig next to me in a box, keep it fresh. And suddenly, the car stops. And for the women in the audience, it's frightening, because if you've ever driven alone, you think you're very smart while you're driving, But suddenly, with the radio going, the flags flying, but then Isadora Duncan's out the window with the scarves going. Suddenly, your car stops dead, and you realize here you are on the parkway. Here I was, a girl alone. So I get out of the car, and nobody stops. They're going back and forth, and I take my wig with me, and I'm standing on the parkway, and I'm saying little things such as, help! Help! Because I don't fool around. And the wig is saying things like, help her! Help her! And nobody stops. And I'm really getting very frantic, and I'm waving for help with both hands, and I drop the wig, and a guy drives over it. And I began to cry, because there is $125 that now says Firestone.
Bill
I
Cosby
picked it
didn't
up,
do it justice.
and the guy's car screeches to a halt, and he jumps out and he said, I killed your dog. He gives me $10 and he drives off.
Can I just say, I love the guy that would kill a dog and give someone $10. Like, the confidence. Like,
Yeah.
here you go. I'm out of here. Like, we're good? Like, $10. A fucking Hamilton.
I want you to get the picture. It's 11:30 at night. It's raining out. I'm walking down the West Side Parkway against the traffic with a dead wig in my arms.
let's pause it for a second, because I actually want to say, like, even like it's like what you said, like I wasn't like in love with like all of it, but like she's like, you know, it's a, like a real story, and she definitely like she's like herself, like 100% genuine. Like you can't make that fucking story up. You know what I mean?
And that's what's different from when she was on like the TV shows, because she'd always compress her act. You'd hear the short jokes. And
Yeah.
When we're hearing stories, it's almost like it's a different comic. I don't even.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
at first when I'm like, well, why the fuck did I need to hear 3 minutes about a wig? It's like, oh, because it has to do with, like, all the other bits, probably. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so maybe it's, like, some long-form shit. I don't know.
What's $125 in today's money?
125
That's
in
how much
today's
she said
money.
her wig was. That's
Yeah.
in 1965.
That's probably the.
That's a lot
equivalent,
even
like,
now.
$3.50
I wouldn't pay
to-
for that. I got this, though. How much is a good wig? Has anyone bought a wig lately?
They can get really expensive.
My Santa wig was $85.
Holy shit.
Wow.
So
That's just to be Santa.
yeah,
Damn.
that's not including the beard.
You
That
should have
was
asked
just-
Santa for one.
How much is a Santa beard? Did you need one?
Well, no, I got it for to rent out my suit to other people,
Oh.
Oh, smart.
and so yeah, so the beard and everything was about $200.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Wigs are
because it's a
fucking
good,
wild.
I mean, it's a
yeah.
good looking, high quality beard. So
Oh my god. I don't know. Holy shit. That wig's probably. What? Did I have like sun in my beard?
Can we get for that?
I was pricing it out.
Oh man. When I
Looks like a
believe it or
nice
not, I
Dollar
used to have
General
hair
beard.
longer than this, and I shaved my head in between that time. But I had dreads, and everyone's like, "You should do locks for love," and I couldn't do it because I had dreadlocks. They wouldn't let me do it. Yep. I
turns
don't
out
know.
they don't want gray hair.
Ha.
Locks of love.
Oh, I can't do it again now.
you're screwed.
Oh, I was gonna donate it this time for sure.
I always did that in high school. I'd grow it all the way to my butt and then ponytail, cut it, donate it.
I think
Or
I
again.
decided if I cut it, I'm gonna do like a mullet for a day and then just shave my head. Like
If
just
I-
one day as a mullet, like drink real Mountain Dew.
Photo op.
Oh my god, I am going to get a mullet full blown if I ever don't have to have a day job. If I can ever figure out a way to have not a day job,
That's never happened.
I would
all day?
immediately have such a bitchin' mullet. I've got the length, all right? That's everything. If I feathered this here, I'm golden. I wouldn't dye it or anything. Or maybe I'd bleach it. You never know, but probably not.
I can kind of get a mullet thing going.
You could definitely do it.
want
You would
so
have to
bad.
just
I want just
shape
a
those sides up.
bitchin' mullet. I wear stilettos all the time. I drive an 88 station wagon. Give me a mullet.
I had a mullet
have
when I was a
earned it.
kid,
I want
but
to get a Pontiac Trans Am
Hell yeah.
and get a mullet.
Hell yeah.
and be
Gonna
that
my
guy.
album cover.
You wouldn't be Rodney anymore. You'd be Rod.
You just be Rod. Yeah, you'd be Hot Rod.
Rod Norm.
Yeah. Hot Rod. Yeah, the driver.
Hot
Rod,
Rod.
the driver norm.
Super Hot Rod. Hot Rod 2, the Roddening. Yes. All right, let's see if she does more wig jokes.
I come from an upper middle class family. My mother took the test in the Reader's Digest, and that's what we are. Yeah, how many times a week does your maid come in? Joan, how often you home? Four. If I was living home, I'd be upper, you know. But anyhow, so I brought my mother to see the apartment, and the first thing she says, like, she like anything can be made cheerful. Which, that hurts. Because I already made it cheerful, I thought. And then I took Roy Silver Star Maker over. And he said, well, when you paint, it'll be better. And they painted it. It's been like bango time, you know? So anyhow, so I got this old broken down candelabra, really lousy looking, and I scraped it with the Brillo, and I got rid of all the wax and everything. And today I have a beautiful Chianti bottle. It's okay. But I have what they call black thumb, because I just had like bad luck with plants, and I bought me a philodendron. I started small, and I put it in my kitchen, and it drank my soup.
One person's losing their
But my
mind.
mother said, to give you apartment building a little class, which we need desperately, I must say. My mother's like, give it a name. Because every apartment building today has a name. Like on 10th Street there's a Vincent Van Gogh. My sister's getting married, she's moving to the Gentry East. North, in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn gentry gotta live too.
I don't know what she said. She said it was like something small and in Brooklyn. and everyone just laughed. 'cause-
Yeah, I missed whatever it was. Must have just been a regional thing.
Yeah, I doubt the building even exists anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go with 1965 Brooklyn. Not so good. I'm just gonna stick it out there.
And up on Park Avenue, the Patty Maxine Laverne, So I'm just the doormen all wear pompadours and do the taxi boogie. But so my mother said, give the building a name, because the building doesn't have a name. And so I decided we should call a meeting a house meeting, because that's important, And we had to call a house meeting during the day, because a lot of the ladies work in the evenings.
Nurses.
They're actresses also. We all stand around in the foyer, and we talk about things like ankle bracelets and wedgies, and they love me. What's so nice, I live away, but they take care of me in my apartment building, which is nice. And the newest tenant and all the ladies, it's so good to me, and they worry. And one of them tonight said to me, which is just, so nice, should I keep over 45th Street if you know what's good for you? Well, thanks, Miss Sadie. I waved you from Chapelletti's. So we got all together, we decided to get a house in there, we called it the Jose. Then somebody suggested the Mildred. But I said no. And finally we decided we have a simple name, we just call it Public Shelter. And he's like, where do you live? He said, I live in the Public Shelter West. And everybody suddenly, when your building has a name, we're all different now. And we all walk tall through the lobby, And we carry ourselves a lot of class. And then we walk over to the super and we say things like, call me a bus. And the super says, you're a bus. And then he wishes you well in the foreign tongue.
She has really good throwaway lines. Like she really is good, like Dave Attell solid throwaway lines.
Yeah.
But before Dave Attell, obviously. You know how they say everyone emulates Dave Attell? I say Joan Rivers, actually.
Yeah.
They're just solid. They're almost like they're supposed to be better than the punchline.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think too. It's just peppered in.
She's kind of just mean.
Yeah.
That's what's funny about it.
Sure.
She's an asshole.
And if it gets laughed, she'll say another one and another. She'll just ride it.
Yeah, she keeps tagging it.
Yeah. Yep.
No. Have you ever seen her get heckled before? Have you ever? There's a documentary about her. She's screaming at people, kicking them out. She's great.
Yeah.
But she has a joke for everything. I mean, in that documentary they show she has a Dewey Decimal catalogs of just note cards of just joke.
Yeah.
You can just tell she's just got lines for days. It's fucking stockpiling for the apocalypse, but it's not guns, it's dick jokes. It's nuts. Yeah, fucking beast. I think there's. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
I didn't do it. I don't know what it was. I think there's just a few more.
I think I should tell you a little bit about myself, because that starts it out nicely. I come from a little town called Larchmont, which is very, very tiny. We have a mirror at one end. Which scares hell out of the visitors, crash out. There's a bloody stranger, but then, my father is a doctor in Larchmont, and I'm very proud of my father. I think he's a lot smarter than a lot of these guys with degrees. And my father is like a true American dream. This is kind of interesting. My father worked his way through medical school as a waiter. And to this day, patient walks in the office, he gives him a roll and a glass of water. The patients, like,
That'd be
gee,
great.
what have I got? My boss says, what do you have, He writes his prescriptions like this, Unless, if it's a family, he says, you want that all one prescription, My mother, it's very interesting, my mother is not a doctor, even though she also didn't go to medical school. She's just a mother, and we're very close, we're almost like mother and daughter. As a child, my parents were very good. I was very fat as a child, but when you said fat, I was my own buddy at camp. Now that's, because I was so fat, I didn't have any friends because nobody could get close enough to me to find out I was fun. So
It's funny and sad.
I began to retreat very much into myself, and my parents...
She would have been, well, I know she did have a Twitter, but that would have been a great Facebook status, probably. That would have gotten, super likes. Just saying.
My parents try to cheer me up, they go for a ride, they take me with them in the U-Haul, but even so... Even so, I was becoming kind of strange because I used to sit around the sandbox and make death masks, So they said that for protection, they better send me to progressive school. So they sent me to the Leonard Bernstein Country Day. Or Leonard Bernstein, depending on your income level. Do you know about progressive schools? Progressive schools are run on the theory of let the child do as he wishes. Let the child do as he wishes. Let the child do as he wishes. So for 3 years, I did not wish to go to school. And then, tick, tick, tick. And then, they caught me and they sent me to school, and because I was so fat, they thought the therapy, this is all true, folks, they thought, it is, exaggerated but true, grossly, they thought the therapy, to make me forget that I was fat, they would put me into the school plays, which would kind of, take my mind off that lumber. It was Christmas time, and they put me into the Christmas play, and the first part I ever had, I played the Three Magi. And I got to do a solo. I Three Kings of Orient, and then...
That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was start to finish. That was a really good bit. Just talking about
I think that's the
dad,
end of
mom,
side
her.
1. Oh, yeah. So let's go down the line. How do you guys feel about that so far?
Well, that last bit was just super authentic, and she was talking about things that are, true and personal to her. So I just liked it a lot more.
Still timeless. I mean, that works regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of things
There's only
alluded
been a couple
to.
references I don't think we understood because they were specific to New York at that time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure Brooklyn still got tiny apartments though and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's still nothing. You get the joke.
Yeah.
No, very funny.
It's very funny. Yeah, I would say it's all timeless so far.
I could see myself if I lived at that time period and here's this young comic, this female. This is pretty different from what most female comics are doing, if they're even getting noticed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I guess it does say it's more timeless when I was like, that would be a good Facebook status. I think that's even more
Yeah.
on with the brand. Oh, there's got a fuzzy. All right, let's jump into side 2 if I can get this to work. Yeah.
I'm the only single person in my family.
That is so
and
weird.
this wasn't so tragic up to a few years ago because there were 3 of us. See, that was single. There was a sister, a cousin, and me. And then my sister is getting married, which we'll talk about soon. And she's marrying a Cuban. And my father was thrilled. He said, "Well, I gain a son, but I lose a tractor." He's a Cuban doctor, and we dressed him up and bought him a gold tooth. So anyhow,
Side 2, huh?
we recently, and we've been having like a lot of receptions going, and you meet people on reception lines, and usually on a reception line they'll say things to you, you know, if it's a wedding reception, it's like, this is Joan Rivers, how do you do, Joan Rivers, how do you do, Joan Rivers, how do you do, right. Well, in Westchester, they don't say your name, they say what you gave, and they say like, this is service for 12, how do you do, service for 12? You know, gift coming. Gift coming just gets one hors d'oeuvre. But anyhow, so the other single person, see, was my cousin, and my cousin was never married, which is kind of interesting. She was 77 years old, never married. Fooled around, you know, but never married. She went to a testimonial dinner for Geritol. Met a guy 92 years old and they got married. They had to. So the whole family was hysterical that she finally made it in the biblical sense. So my mother said, let's give her a party. So we went to the Hotel Plaza and we all stood there and we toasted them in a glass of hot water and the juice of a lemon. And then from the hotel into the ambulance, we all lined up. We threw rice and orthopedic shoes, and, you know, and they had a 2-week honeymoon at the Mayo Clinic, and it was nice.
That was an abrupt applause.
Yeah.
I like that. That was funny. Like, and it started off where I was like, oh boy. Like, I think like the, I don't know if the, she's supposed to be offensive, so it's like tough to like be like, does it stand the test of time? It's like yes and no. It's like, cause you know she's joking, cause the way she like doubles, triples, and quadruples down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
she said way crazier things way later in her
the gold
career.
tooth thing, I was like, oh boy. Like,
If that's just her, that's on brand for her, for sure.
yeah. So it's like, I don't know, I still like, it's like, even though it's like obviously you can't like just say that, I still say I'm up there and timeless. Like, I'm, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think she'd be okay. Maybe like a few bad comment cards aside. Like some people might not be in on it.
Yeah. I just love how she's explaining, you know, just two very elderly people getting married. She's had a lot, she just like machine gunned them with really funny visuals. So I just really like that. How
Yeah, she's really good at taking something and making it, pointing out the weird, etc. You know, like her father having been a waiter and then a doctor.
Yeah.
Combining those two worlds,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's doing it with weddings. There's usually young people now.
Right.
It's these elderly couple and kind of showing the difference. It's
Right.
brilliant. It really is. It's brilliant joke writing.
Yeah.
It's almost like she has like a Venn diagram, like of one thing and then the other,
Yeah.
and then the common
commonality
part.
in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost, and those are the punchlines almost, because that's exactly how I would think to like write that out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned something, you guys.
Wow.
We're doing it. We're learning. This is educational programming. PBS should do this show now.
Sometimes you have to fly in this business. And I was going to have to do the Mike Douglas show, which is in Cleveland. And in order to do the Mike Douglas show, you have to fly to Cleveland.
I don't get that reference.
Because if you stay in New York and make faces in the mirror, they don't pay you. And,
Do you?
Yeah, the Michael Douglas. Yeah, they used to film all over the country.
What is
So
it? It was just,
I mean,
I was
now
just
it's
joking.
either
That was funny.
California or LA. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, they shoot a lot of TV shows in other states, actually. Did you know that?
Now they do. I mean,
yeah.
there for a while it was either New York or LA, and
Yeah.
now it's everywhere.
Did you know?
Now we're filming a comedy special here in Willimantic.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
We did one in Norwich.
Actually, Wilmington, North Carolina is the biggest East Coast, on the one on the east side of the country.
Oh yeah, Screen
Yeah.
Gems Studios. Yeah.
Yeah, they shoot stuff all over that city, like eastbound and down stuff. And then Walking Dead like put like Georgia on the map. They were doing a lot of movies in Georgia
Yeah.
for a minute too. So I think before New York and LA, wasn't it Atlantic City? Which is tough to think that Atlantic City was like the la-di-da of its time.
There
Sorry, I
was
got
some-
distracted. Dick Gold's
No, I
got
filmed.
great
Yeah,
entrance.
I filmed in Willimantic. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I
Yeah.
was in that.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
I was a fisherman in the background.
No.
Yeah.
Why is everyone just in movies all of a sudden? House guests, are you hearing this?
So I hung out with.
You wore a yellow coat in that movie.
Yeah, I hung
right?
out with Ryan Felipe. But we sat there and chat. I chatted
Solid
with
hang.
him for like 3 hours till I realized he was a movie star. I just thought he was just some other dude in the movie. We just sat there, we were talking about life and
Really?
him getting into, being an actor. And
What I'm hearing is that
talked about my
he
kids.
didn't know that you were a comedy star for 3 hours. And it's so embarrassing for him. I can't even believe this.
I was actually like, did he call you the driver at
Right?
least? And put some
At
respect
least
on that?
Use your Christian name, the
Why's the
driver.
driver talking to me? And he
In fact,
dressed like
the
a...
next day when I came back, he said, "Hi, Rodney."
Wow.
Wow!
That should
Here
be
you-
in your press kit.
You
That's
heard it
good.
here first,
Ryan
folks.
Felipe
Margaret
said,
Cho,
"Hi, Rod."
boo. Ryan Felipe,
What?
solid dude.
I want to rewatch a movie like literally tonight. I want to watch. I love that movie. I haven't seen it in
I know you
at
did
least
last
15
summer.
years.
So
Yeah.
But I know what they did already.
Well, one day, okay, the place where you see me the best. There's one place where I'm sorting crabs. When they walk in,
How are you listed in the credits? Crab sorter?
just
fisherman?
just an extra.
Nice.
But when they go to, after the first murder, they go to confront Ryan Felipe's character. He's working at the docks. And so all four of them are standing there on the dock, and I come walking behind them with a black skull cap.
I
think we're gonna have to watch this movie tonight just to make sure.
I am so
Wow.
serious. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. That sounds like the perfect date night.
So I have to
Date
watch
night with
House
Rod.
Guest, and then I Know What You Did Last Summer tonight.
Yes.
Like, I have a long night ahead of me. I don't know which one I want to watch first. Do I want to get scared, or do I want to laugh my ass off and watch I Know What You Did Last Summer? Boom. Did it. Bombing. All right. All right, let's go back to...
I had a Chevy Capri station wagon that I slept in while I was filming it.
That is so
That is
On the
all.
drive home.
awesome.
Where did you shoot it?
It was in Wilmington.
Here?
Not Wilmington.
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 Yeah.
Wilmington.
North Carolina.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, Cape Fear, where they shot that movie.
Yeah.
That, oh
I
my
don't-
god.
The worst
awful
movie of all time.
Awful movie. Oh,
Which one?
Cape Fear.
The one with Jack Nicholson in it is
Robert,
terrible.
it's Robert De Niro.
Oh, it's Robert De Niro. You know I'm really bad.
It should have been.
Robert, yeah.
What you
Yeah,
call
the
it?
remake of Cape Fear.
Yeah,
is
awful.
bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is the remake. I had never seen the original.
We just watched that. It does.
We
not
did
stand
watch
the test of
the
time.
remake. Yeah, we were like, oh, it's a Scorsese movie. I guess we should watch it. And we're like, oh my god, cocaine's wild, yo. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
They also just hadn't figured out, like, I don't know, like with movies, like it's tough, like what was at the time like state of the art, like graphics or like not CGI or whatever it was then, like special effects.
Yeah.
It kind of takes me out of it now because it's like, this sucks.
Oh, I
Yeah, it
love
looks
bad
cheesy.
special effects. I love to watch movies with bad special effects. That's what Face Off is like my favorite. I legitimately.
There's nothing bad with it. They really switched their faces in that movie. That was cutting.
I swear to you, I have like a huge tattoo of Salvador Dali on this shoulder, and I want to get Nicolas Cage over here and then just insist that it's actually John Travolta.
Thank you.
In the movie Face Off.
That-
And be like, no, it's not
Terrible.
Why would I get a Nicolas Cage tattoo? That's ridiculous.
He's a Coppola. Nick Coppola. Nikolai Coppola. I don't know what his first name is. Sure, it's Nick. What was the point of this? What was the? Oh,
That
there was a
Rodney
show
movie
in
is
Cleveland.
Yeah, you brought up. We were talking about Michael Douglas. And
Yeah.
how he used to film
In
on
Cleveland.
TV everywhere.
Like the Michael Douglas, the actor, or just a different guy?
I don't know. She said the Mike Douglas.
Yeah.
Like she
Oh,
said.
the McDouglas show,
Yeah.
Cleveland or something.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I like.
No, it's
Do you
not.
want, I'll Google it.
You know who I'm talking about, right? The guy he plays like the president in like bad movies usually.
Yeah.
All right.
65 is probably before his time that he would be relevant.
Or a
It's,
Cleveland talk show host.
The Mike Douglas Show was an American daytime television
there's, like,
talk
Kiss.
show that was
Okay, so,
hosted
like-
by Mike
Yeah.
Douglas. Initially, it aired only in Cleveland during much of its first 2 years, followed by expansion to Philadelphia and nationwide. It was syndicated in '63 and remained on TV till '81. And
Wow.
I learned something.
So there's hope for public access and chill.
Yes, there
Yeah.
is.
Thank
Just-
God, honestly.
just a single
We did
thread
it. How do we get syndicated? Let's Google that.
with just a lot of charisma, I'm sure.
All right. Joan Rivers might tell us in this joke, actually.
There we go.
So I'm flying out to Cleveland, and I hate to fly, and I believe in omens. And I wake up that morning, and it's a blizzard. And I'm in the taxi going out to LaGuardia Airport, and I look out of my taxi window, and flying along with the taxi is a black albatross. Whistling going my way. So we get to LaGuardia Airport, and by this time it's a terrible blizzard, terrible, and nobody's flying. My airlines is going. I said, what are you trying to prove? Don't go, I won't tell, I promise. And he's like, stop it. And so there's nothing to worry about, and they give me a rabbit's foot and a cross. That's because I was going tourist, The first class each got their own priest. So anyhow, it pays to spend. And they take us out to show us the plane. And the plane is parked in front of the hangar. And even the plane looks afraid. And it's got its wings folded over its nose. And on the side of the plane is the plane's name, which is the Flying Titanic. So we're all standing there, and we're all looking at the plane, and there's a man standing right next to me, also looking at the plane, and he's saying things like, if God wanted man to fly, he'd give him wings, and he's our pilot. So,
Yo, that's nuts. That you
Yeah.
just showed that. She's talking about airplanes. Did you guys just see what just happened that's happening on the news right now?
No.
Kobe Bryant just died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Sorry, I'm finding out right now live. She just-
Earlier today.
and she's talking about plane
they
crashes,
just,
and I'm like,
covering
whoa,
it
this
now,
is
Holy shit.
Yeah, Kobe and
Yeah.
his daughter.
holy shit.
That one's
Yeah.
not confirmed yet.
Oh, really?
People have put that out, but it's not confirmed that his daughters were there.
Oh, damn. 'Cause I
Eric
heard
Pumpkins,
Gianna
you heard it
was
here
there,
first,
but that's
folks.
all I heard.
This will be old news by the time this comes out.
It was just
But
crazy. I
holy
literally
shit.
just got a notification on my phone for one of my apps, and that's what it was. And Joan Rivers just talking about airplanes there now. Wow.
Yeah.
Sad.
Funny joke though.
Yeah.
I'm noticing she's some of these bits are she doesn't say a line unless it's a joke. It's every single line is a punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the master of a storyteller is the one who builds the story, tells the story, but is using jokes
Yeah.
the whole way, so it's not all set up.
Right. Yeah.
Or they're piggybacking on the setup to tell more jokes.
Zero fat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And she's solid at it.
Yeah.
Definitely in the top 10. You said it best, for sure. Definitely doesn't get the credit she deserves.
which I should have guessed from the cape and the S. But anyhow, we start to lower us on the plane, and we're going up the, what do you call it? The gangplank. Yeah, whatever they call it nowadays. So I use a negative cleverly, and I turned to the stewardess, and I said, there isn't enough room, is there? And she said, there's lots now if the rats have left. So, nobody loves a you-know-what, miss. So anyhow, so we get on the plane, and the stewardess sits us down, and she says Kaddish, and then... She starts to give us her speech, and she's a very negative stewardess, And instead of saying things like, if we ditch, she goes, when we ditch, and the sharks come at ya, kill them with a blunt instrument, like your arm. And I started crying, what sharks, what ditching? We're flying to Cleveland. Check your atlas, you fool. She goes over and she kicks the door shut from the outside.
I really liked that line. That she kicked the door shut from the outside.
Yeah.
That was funny. That tickled me.
Stewardesses hate women. The minute they you don't know this because they're always dressed up in those little uniforms. But I gotta get. They hate women. They love men. They're very nice. To the men, they're always saying things like, coffee, tea, or what will you, sir? But to the women,
Coffee or tea?
they're super polite, and and you can't blame them though, because they're all single, and they fire them at 26. They have a definite deadline. They don't fool around. So our stewardess is all over the men, and me, have you got a throw-up bag? And she said, it's not my aisle. She was so rotten, she sold me a magazine. Now, and somebody had colored it. So anyhow, we blow into Cleveland an hour ahead of schedule because we're on the tail end of this hurricane. And the airlines did not know what to do with us because it never happened in their history that anyone even came in near schedule. So...
I was just gonna say, I was thinking that. How the fuck did you get a plane there like an hour early? Like, so they can do that? They could just go faster?
Maybe in
Oh yeah,
1965 they could.
Yeah, I've been my flight that I take to Salt Lake all the time. They routinely try to get there in under time.
They can just lie to you and say you're gonna get there later than you're actually expected to get there.
I would prefer that because I'm always late for everything, so that would give me a fighting chance when I land to actually pull it off.
I hate
and get there on
flying.
time.
I hate it.
I love flying. You don't like flying?
Hate it.
I love flying.
Terrified every time.
Really? Oh, I think it's such a thrill. I love
Not a fan.
all of that stuff though. And I also love traveling.
I'd rather drive there, yeah.
Boats.
I really love road trips too, but I love flying. I absolutely love flying.
I like getting there quickly. That's it. I'm like that. The act of flying is just like bad. I hate it.
Oh, it's a whole adventure.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
it. I don't love overpaying for McDonald's, but everything else is great. Like,
Someone that gets wronged a lot, I could see why Brian would hate the experience of flying. There's
Yeah.
a lot of opportunity.
I'm just afraid.
in public with authority.
All right. Here's why I hate flying. I have to pee a lot. I don't like being told I can't stand up and go to the bathroom. It's like, I'll unbuckle my seatbelt and do whatever I want. I'm a grown-ass man. But,
this is true. He pees in the car all the time.
Right.
No belt.
yeah, and then, the dying thing, obviously. But, like, I don't know, like, I just, like, now that I don't drink, I can't do it as well. But I just try and fall asleep when I go on a plane. I just get on the plane and I go to sleep immediately. I'm like, that's my job, is to pass out as long as possible. But the last time I was flying... we hit turbulence while I was asleep, and the lady that was sitting next to me grabbed my arm. Like, she freaked out, and that I woke up to her freaking out, and I almost pissed my pants, honestly. I was like, oh god, this is it! Like, this is Armageddon.
To you. Every time we fly. That's hysterical.
No,
I'm going to do it to you every time and record the reaction.
I wasn't super scared of it until I went to, I was going to the Philippines, but I was flying first to South Korea, and it was like in the middle of the night. It's a 20-hour flight. They had to drop like a shit. Like they hit like so much turbulence. They had to drop the plane all of a sudden, but they didn't. It was super late, so they just didn't warn anybody. They just did it. So it just felt like the plane started falling. Like the mast came down, all that shit, and I was like, "This is bad." And everyone's speaking fucking Korean, so I'm like, "Oh my god."
You'd have to wait in line at Disney for like an hour and a half to get that experience, though.
It was like that roller coaster, like that feeling or something. Not when it's a plane going down. It's totally different. It's like your asshole is like here.
I've always referred to it as the butthole feeling. Ever since I was just like a little kid, like even if you had a good bump in the road, I'd be like, "Did anyone else get the butthole feeling?" And my mom never like stopped me from saying it.
It just makes you feel like what happens if that thing just stops moving. It's like, it's just gonna go down.
You know,
it's going down right now.
I had an interesting moment. It was about 2 years ago. I was on a flight coming back. I think we were flying in New York. And as we're coming in, we hit some turbulence. And the plane, it felt like it went, completely sideways.
Yeah, I've had that before,
I mean, it was
too.
just, and we were going, and my thought is that this is how I die.
Yeah.
And my first thought after that was, well, Tressa's going to get a good payoff from this one. That was all I could think.
Wow.
She'll make good on this. And then we landed fine.
That's how polluted the Hudson
is. I was disappointed.
You didn't want to survive if you had to fall in the Hudson River. You're like, you know what? I'd rather just go.
I get that because you accept it.
Floaty in the world.
Yeah, it was just that moment of I'm dying, and it was funny because I wasn't panicked. I was just at peace. I mean, it felt like this plane was falling apart.
Wow.
I thought, this is it. We're dead.
Oh, I become religious.
And then all of a sudden, it just zeroed out, and we landed just fine. But it was just that moment of, well, this is it. And I was completely at peace
Wow.
with it. I was fine.
That must
Damn, you almost,
give you
like,
like a lot of peace of
should've been like,
mind
"Can it go
moving
down?"
forward. Like if that's just how you reacted in that moment, that's how you feel. That must just mean you're like just happy with the life you've led and the things you've done, and you're at peace with
I
it.
just thought, well, I hope Tress is good after this and the kids. And
Damn,
we're
I
gonna
gotta
some
get
money out of
right.
this.
I gotta get my shit together. I would just be going through all the things, like all the terrible things I've done and all the apologies I never gave. Whoops.
I'd just be like, but I'm so awesome. It's too early for me. No, I'm only 97 years old, please. It's taken way too soon. Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know, man. And then it's like that, like, because, like, then the plane just lands, so then you just have to do whatever you actually were gonna do.
Yeah.
You can't, like, carpe diem. You're not gonna seize the day. You're like, oh, this is a new life. No, you just go to McDonald's.
It was kind of interesting because, you know, for like that next day, it just kept playing in my head that I thought I was going to be dead.
Yeah.
That I wasn't going to have these opportunities. And so all of a sudden everything was just tasted a little bit better. You know, things that bothered me didn't bother me at all for quite a while. I mean, it was just a very interesting Zen moment that lasted for probably a couple weeks where I just thought, you know, kind of that I'm on borrowed time. I was supposed to have been dead now.
People would pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm inspired.
I have a business
I'm like, I
idea.
need more near-death
Yeah.
experiences to get comfortable, I guess. Like
with
edge
Kobe
myself.
Bryant. I mean, how you know, Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant, 41, still an amazing athlete. All the money in the world you could possibly have, and it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's promised to anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Helicopter crash is pretty badass, too.
Yeah, and if you're going to go out, that's the way to do it.
I'm just saying. I mean, like, rest in peace, like, obviously. Like, but if you had to choose,
Ugh, I just don't want to die naked.
I don't care. I'll
I
be
just
dead.
don't. Like, I just don't want to be found like that, you know?
We've been listening
Like,
to a lot of Criminal, and
it's the
it's
worst.
a lot of people, what they do, like, selling dead bodies. And I was like, I'm uncomfortable with this, actually. I thought I didn't care, but I was like, a little annoyed if I found out someone, like, sold my body and then just did something dumb with it. I'd be like, aw,
Yeah.
really? Like, you sold my foot for $100? That's stupid.
Yeah, it was a
Black
really low
market.
amount.
Yeah, the black market is
Yeah.
real weird. It wasn't even the black market. It was just regular science.
Yeah.
$125 for a foot.
Yeah.
Optimistic, your foot.
Well, but
No,
that's
not even mine.
You have
Just
to
some-
consent to have that done, though.
Yeah. And
Well,
then it's body brokerage.
Apparently,
It's
it's
a real
not. It's
thing.
not super regulated actually until recently.
Well, this case we were listening to, like caused the regulation. It was called Sunset Mesa in Colorado. It was this funeral home that also had a body brokering business under the same roof. So they were basically like convincing people, like, hey, your loved one had, like this one woman had bladder cancer. Like, you should donate her bladder. It'd be a wonderful gift to science. And then they were like, okay. And then
Free
and then we'll do the
cremation.
cremation for free. And they're like, oh wow. And then like 2 months later, they're given something that was tested, and it was bone matter. But there's no way of DNA testing cremains.
Yeah.
And then they found this loved one's body parts being sold to like programs that taught people how to do like cosmetic procedures and stuff. So yeah, so they had just like basically like a butcher just like chopped this one up into pieces and sold the pieces to
tons
these
of people.
Yeah, and they like preserve them with plastics so that like they basically embalm you with plastic so that like
Yeah.
you can like be sold to the highest bidder. Like
Well, have you ever seen the bodies display where it's just all human bodies?
Yeah, I
No.
did actually.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, the one where they do like the bloodstream and stuff. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
Chinese like prisoners or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Wow.
it was weird. Yeah. But yeah, this shit was crazy. The one that blew my mind is that it was like then like all these people started coming forward. One dude found his dad in a catalog that he
Yeah.
thought got cremated. He found his dad's dead
Yeah.
body in a catalog.
And his dad
for
was
sale.
a veteran who was supposed to be like, his organs were supposed to go to science, and then his cremains were supposed to go to the national cemetery that he chose to be, buried at with like his war buddies.
Yeah, it was
And
super fucked.
But they located the body. The family actually hasn't gotten the body back yet, at least not as of the airing of this podcast, which is just like a few months old.
2019.
But she was just saying that like she has peace, at least knowing like physically that he's like out there and safe, and that he will be returned and like put to rest the way he chose to be.
Wow.
But could you imagine like seeing your loved one in a catalog?
But where in the chain of
Wild.
command does it go from like, okay, I'm an organ donor and now I'm dead and I'm in the
You don't even have to be an organ donor to
Yeah, but like
to-
when a body dies, they end up in the whatever it's called in the basement of the hospital or whatever, and like how does
The
it
basement.
get? You know what? How does it
Yeah.
get from in the hands of the authorities to like on the market? Like
Yeah.
how does
Well,
you need a
through
mortician.
The broker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
super,
mortician embalms the
it's
body.
super easy. They just scoop you
Yeah.
up.
And
It's,
then the broker sells you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like butcher.
Well, you
Like-
remember
like-
there was a thing. I think it was also in Arizona where the crematory they had a problem with the ovens. They couldn't get them hot enough to actually cremate anybody, and instead of fixing it, they just buried these bodies in somebody's lot. They were
Oh
just
my
like
God.
they were like they had literally a junkyard of dead bodies.
Oh my God.
They just buried them in some guy's
That's
Yikes.
crazy.
that part of his property.
Right? Damn.
You definitely got to listen to the Criminal podcast. It's super duper good.
The woman who narrates it is phenomenal. Phoebe Judge, she's just, there's no, she doesn't give any personality
I
whatsoever.
love it.
She's just a
It's just
very
like
good
watching, like, a
narrator of
doc.
like, these are
Like-
the facts.
Right, this
It
is
is
what
measured.
happened. Right.
She stays like, it's just like, she stays even keeled the whole time. It's exactly what you want in like a true crime thing. Like she doesn't give it her
yeah.
own flair. You know, which is definitely there's podcasts out there that do a good job with that, but she just the way that she just
And they
paints the
interview
picture
people, like,
with no
involved,
bias
too.
is really cool.
Yeah.
She's really phenomenally talented.
Yeah, and just straight up, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like watching TV. It's like when the TV's on in the other room, but you can hear it.
Exactly.
It's like, and you can
Exactly.
follow it all. It's super dope.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not as dope as you guys.
Joan Rivers.
Joan fucking Rivers.
All right, enough about selling bodies. Let's get
Yeah.
back
They
to
got together for a conference.
The hidden gems
and
of this
Jill
show.
Conley put us through customs.
Gotta wait till you're 37 minutes in.
Look at that. They gave us some claws breaking everything.
Y'all ever sell a dead body?
I think pets are important. And I think everybody should have a pet, but I don't think you should overlove a pet. And we have neighbors on the left called
Doesn't she mean a
Levine, or
wig?
Levine, because they just went into a higher income bracket. Suddenly I realized they were French all along. But anyhow, so they have a Chihuahua, but originally they had a little boy named Ronnie. Miss Levine is one of these mothers who had like a very difficult time giving birth to the son, like just ask her. It's like 25 years later, she's still timing the contractions. You know, these kind of mothers. You go to borrow a cup of sugar, you say, yeah, have you got a cup of sugar, Mrs. Levine? She's like, every 7 minutes. Oh, my doctor says I'm brave, Because Ronnie was an only child, the Levines/Levines lavished him with affection. Anything Ronnie wanted, Ronnie got. Sacrifice, a chicken a week. And
Sacrifice.
and everything Ronnie had, Mrs. Levine took and dipped in bronze. And put on a bracelet, And you should say, this is Ronnie's baby shoe, I had it dipped in bronze. And this is Ronnie's skate key, I had it dipped in bronze. This is Ronnie's maternity pin, I had it dipped in bronze. This is Ronnie, and he'll never leave it. This is my obstetrician, he says I'm a brave woman. And in spite of all this affection, Ronnie grew up and did something rotten. Rotten, folks. He cut the cord, snippo, and Mrs. Levine took it and had it dipped in bronze. He went into the service. Well, Mrs. Levine was furious and she wasn't going to take this lying down. And she went right with him to Fort Dix. And I remember I went to see she was tripping. They had slimmed her down and shaved her head. She was she won the sharpshooter medal, spitting bullets through her teeth, the whole thing. And from Fort Dix, the Army took Ronnie and sent him over to Japan. And while in Japan, he figured, when in Rome, be a job. He marries.
Whoops.
Whoa! You know what's funny?
can't say
That was
that.
like the one thing like in the Gallagher album too.
Yeah.
Remember he said Jap? And he
Oh,
did say
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that was just the thing, you guys.
Yeah. Well,
Well, the 60s, that wasn't that far
Well,
after.
we didn't take things so personally as everybody does now.
Yeah.
The 20 years or only 20 years of fighting a war
Yeah.
against them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
little tension there.
All right.
Plus, you can say things in a mean way, but mean it.
Oh,
an
for sure.
endearment.
Oh, for sure. And like,
So-
I was just noticing too. She was saying Fort Dix, and then it made me laugh because she said Dix, but she hasn't sworn at
Yeah, no,
at all.
she really
and it's a
hasn't.
Warner Brothers album too. But like, I mean, I don't know if you know Joan Rivers' later work.
Yeah.
She's kind of filthy.
Well, it's for their first album,
That's what I'm
and
thinking.
Fort Dix is a real place.
Yeah.
I know, but it made me laugh because I'm a child. I was like, Dix with an X. Dix? Funny?
Always.
What happened to the audience?
I have to
You're
say,
in.
I had a coworker
You're the
once
only
that
one that
our
matters.
office was located on the corner of Bay Road and Dix Avenue, and it's DIX. And she had worked there for years longer than I had worked there, and she was just having a day, a little tired, whatever. And she sent out a document for a person's home closing. So like it went to the attorney, the realtor, the insurance person, the mortgage lender, everybody. And she had put Dix Avenue, and she spelled it D-I-C-K-S. Like she had like a mental lapse of like our addresses she had typed 1,000 times, and she sent it over, and it got sent back, and they were like, oh, we just need the corrected spelling for the mortgagee because the name was wrong on there, or the address was wrong on there because it was spelled like that. And she was so embarrassed. And I was like, I mean, it happens, but like it's just like she's obviously like in her own head, and she had typed it. I mean, she'd worked there for 6 years. Never made a mistake, and then like it just came back this one
She got
time.
something on the mind, I
Yep.
think. She's just
Dicks
chewing
out.
ice
D-I-C-K-S.
and
Like, huge Freudian slip, sent it out, faxed it to everybody. Too late to take it back.
yeah, we all
It
know
was
what she
really
was
funny.
thinking about you guys. Sporting goods.
Yes.
He married a Japanese girl. Well, through the heart. She was a Japanese girl. Her father wasn't ready to wear kimonos, nothing. Mr. and Mrs. Levine washed their hands symbolically of Ronnie, and they got rid of his books and his toys and his crib, and they went to Macy's, and they bought themselves a chihuahua that they named Sonny. Look, Freudian? Now, before we go on, because, it's like, I want to know who here, or who here, college grads, who here likes chihuahuas? I hate chihuahuas.
She didn't even wait.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are a myth perpetrated on the American public by Xavier Cougar. When I say like I hate chihuahuas, like I wouldn't kill chihuahuas. I'm not a chihuahua killer. God put them on earth, Noah took them on board, so what the hell? I'm not the one to take the flute and hit the East River with the chihuahuas. Come on, What's nice about chihuahuas? They shake to Latin rhythms. The only good thing you can say about chihuahuas is you can knit a sweater for a chihuahua in an hour, but that's it. Let's go back. The Levines had Ronnie who married the poor Japanese girl, so they got rid of Ronnie and they bought a chihuahua named Sonny. Everybody got that? Heads down. There's going to be a test on this in Beowulf tomorrow.
Solid Beowulf reference.
So anyhow, you hear like these hideous stories of people go out to dinner with their dogs, right? And the Levines would go out to dinner with my parents. And it'd be my mother and my father and Mr. and Mrs. Levine and Sonny in an outfit. And Mrs. Levine would say to the head waiter things like, 10 over 5. And Sonny was so ashamed. He'd shaken double time. Here's some pretty folks. There's the chihuahua crying, Howard Johnson's.
Oh, that's where they're going out, is to Hojo's.
Cherry vanilla.
Hojo's.
Well, this is hard to believe. This very morning, Wednesday, or Thursday, we were busy yesterday. This very morning, Thursday, Mrs. Levine picked up a princess to tell my
is the closer.
Alcoholic. And that's, it's not, it's very, we had a dog. It's all because the water shortage, I'll explain, but we had a dog who never touched liquor. You know, on New Year's Eve, she'd take a bite of celery, but that was it. And she lived by the motto, you know, muzzle that touch liquor will never touch mine, nothing. And she didn't go near St. Bernard, the whole very straight nose. The water shortage starts, and in Westchester, they said, like, nobody should water their lawns with water. So my father said, why not? Because, you know, we obey the law. So he goes out and he's watering with beer. And 2 acres full of beer. The weeping willow got the giggles, you know. Every time the gardener would walk past, get your hands off, Tony. The whole place that we had. And the dog chewed grass. And she liked it, and it got very cute because she was like a tipsy Airedale. And first it was like cute to see because she like run around, she'd laugh, you know, hit and miss the hydrant, what the hell. And it was we say things like, you know, go fetch, you know, go fish. You really, you good. And then she turned nasty. And she began to hang around with like bad kinds of people. She began to hang around with police dogs, and she'd go into bars for free drinks, ugly. And one day she like wandered off. And coming, this is hard to believe. Coming here tonight, we stopped. I laughed because it's so emotional. We stopped at the Bowery for a red light. And would you believe a dog came out of the shadows and the drink money licked off my windshield?
I think that's it. That is it. I just love how she really
on the Chihuahua story, but I
Yeah.
don't think this was a.
I really like how she at least played it up with like the can you believe this happened tonight on the way here, like just laughing at her own bullshit at that point. Yeah, she definitely should have ended on the Chihuahua joke.
Yeah, the Chihuahua
This
thing was funny.
whole album's edited kind of weird
Yeah.
too. It's like raw takes and then like clearly there was like a clap put in at that one part where it was like abrupt, but it
Yeah.
like to like just put like a track on it. It's just, and then there's cuts.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
It kind of feels like this was recorded over several shows, and they took the best version of each bit.
Yeah.
I think it might
Because
say that.
sometimes it sounded like it was a small crowd, and then others it sounded like it was a big crowd.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I think, well, yeah, because it's like a collection of stories. So yeah, that makes sense. And also with all of her
No,
throwaway
they just talk about
lines,
Mike she used
it's
to
like
do.
The difference between her doing it, you know, night after night after night could be vast, you know, because if like the joke isn't hitting as hard, she might not, you know, machine gun in all those throwaways.
Or yeah, and then when you have an audience that's really into it, you add more and you go further. And
exactly.
you dig
So it's
deep.
like you can get the most out of it if you
Yeah.
do it that way, like record it over several nights and then like put together like a best of. Because this just like Dave said earlier, this just like isn't the classic like Joan Rivers that we all think of when we think of her stand up. This is definitely more conversational like storytelling.
This is definitely the tip
But
of the
very much
iceberg.
her.
You see like the seeds that are going to be planted for her to be like she's already like amazing, but you see that she's like the great she's going to become.
Yeah.
Like in it, like just the like what we're saying, like oh she's got a line for everything. Like she's so quick witted. It only like intensifies with like age, skill, and you know wisdom.
Yeah.
And shit.
Yeah, when
But-
you see that doc with she's got that wall of the filing cabinets with all the index cards and jokes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can totally see that, like, in her, you know, however long this whole thing was, it's like, it's just boom, 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 boom.
Mhm.
You know,
It's about a half hour. Like the actual album itself was like a half hour. She definitely probably did longer time, and they just took like a best of. But yeah, it's probably, I'd say side A and B are definitely probably two different shows for sure.
Yeah.
So where are we falling on all this for the show?
I like it. I think it's timeless. I said just a few dated references.
Yeah, a few dated references
other
aside.
than that, but you still understood what was going on with the joke. That it didn't really ruin the joke.
Yeah, it was like 3 dog jokes and an airplane joke, basically.
Yeah.
What it came down to.
Right.
Yeah. I say it's timeless too. It's really funny. I definitely think some of her other stuff is way better, but I definitely put this down as timeless and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if she was still alive and did these bits, they would still work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She'd be the best at any open mic for sure. No, they were really fucking great. Yeah, shit. That's it. Any comments, questions?
Was this her first
Yes.
major? Okay.
This is her debut.
Album. That's it for everybody? Well,
That would be
shit.
her Comedy Central special.
Yeah, seriously. That'd be she'd have a clip of that on Premium Blend.
Yes.
So you're all comedians, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You know any good stand-up comedy clubs around here?
Around here, I mean, better than Willimantic Records.
Well, there's.
Standalone music venues, which sometimes can serve as doubles as a comedy club.
Well, there's a place right in Willimantic that does a monthly showcase that's really good, and the guy always supports everything here too. That's over at Corleone's.
Yeah, that's a dope show.
Yeah, we've done it before. It's a
For
great room.
locally here, I mean, Connecticut only has like what 3 comedy clubs in the whole state.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
It's
one.
you're kind of
Let's
hit.
come over to Long Island. We have Brokerage and we have Governors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to Governors before, but that's the only one I've ever done in Long Island. I should.
We gotta go see Lucille Cataldo in Long Island.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta
Yeah.
do.
We
Do you
are
ever-
going.
Have you lived in Long Island your whole life? Is that?
Most of my life, as well as the Hudson Valley, which is just on the other side of Connecticut.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of a?
Did you?
Bye, Jeff.
What?
Did you ever see a public access talent show called Stairway to Stardom? It was a Long Island talent showcase.
When was that?
Oh gosh,
The
the
80s?
80s.
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's so good.
You gotta look it up.
Yeah, Stairway to Stardom. The videos are so funny on YouTube. It's just like 1980s Long
Is it
Island
almost like
talent
the
show.
MTV show Ridiculousness, kind of like that?
No,
No.
it's like people competing. It's almost like American
like a talent
Idol
show.
slash like it's a talent
predated
show.
that.
They want to be good, but they
Yeah,
are
it was
not.
just like Star Search, but it was like a public access version called
But
Stairway
you
to
know,
Stardom.
with
It's
the internet
amazing.
out there, it's like you can find stuff without having to go through Idol or Star Search these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, you know,
for
it was,
sure.
in Utah, we used to have this thing, this guy, it was a Sunday morning talent show. And it was run by this guy named Eugene Jeleznik,
Ugh.
which is the greatest name ever.
Yeah.
Eugene
I was gonna say it was a clunky name. That's why I hooked at it.
And but it was the funniest show because he was you would have somebody get up there and do a magic trick, and then and there was hardly any studio audience. It was just if somebody brought their family, that was the audience.
Right.
Oh fuck yeah!
But people would sing, and it was like every Sunday morning. I loved that show.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it was
Local
just-
talent showcases
Yeah.
on like public access
Yeah,
TV
it
are
was
my
the best.
favorite.
We should do one on public access and chill.
Yeah.
She got a
I never
talent
got
show
a chance to
going.
meet Joan Rivers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
so cute.
I was trying to get Ray Kosker here. He
I
did.
haven't met Margaret Cho.
Yeah. Well,
By accident.
Yeah.
we should do a Margaret Cho album next. We have to do what for?
We can do
Carlos
a Margaret
Mencia,
Cho.
now Margaret
Sinbad
Cho.
put some out.
Yeah, Sinbad.
We
would
should
be
do
a good one.
Sinbad.
He's very active.
You know what we ought to do is do a.
Except his humor is relatively clean for the most part.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he's really clean. We ought to do like
Today-
somebody's first album and then do like their most recent one the
Right.
next show.
Okay.
And to kind of look at how they
Oh, what
progress and how they
about Cheech
change.
and
Sinbad
Chong?
would be a
I
good
knew
one.
someone
Yeah,
mentioned
I
that.
agree.
Cheech and Chong would be
Yeah,
good too.
I worked with Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My brother,
Are they
this
still
was
around?
funny. Yeah. in
Not
fact-
together, but-
Well, it was funny because he was, Tommy had come to work at our club in West Valley, Utah. And while he was there, I was in the room. He was on the phone with Cheech, who happens to live in Park City, Utah.
Wow.
And he called him up and said, "Hey, man, I'm down here in West Valley. I don't think I'm far from your house. Why don't you come down?" And he says, "Well, I'm in the middle of something right now." And he says, "No, come on down, man. And we'll do an old bit together."
Wow.
And he goes, "Oh, that'd be a lot of fun. Hold on." And then he's like, "Oh man, I can't. You know." But I was like, "Holy freaking crap! Comedy history is about to
Yeah.
possibly be taking place right here in our
Yeah,
club."
wow.
I was getting goosebumps as I'm realizing what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And it ended up they didn't do it, but they did eventually get back together and do some stuff.
yeah.
But
I would have been so
You know,
stoked.
just
I
a
would
few
have.
weeks ago, Eddie Murphy just made his first appearance on Saturday Night for like the first time since the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did Eddie Murphy on this show. Actually, we did a comedian.
I think he's gonna make a comeback.
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's on his way.
Netflix sure
He's on his
seems
way.
to think so.
Yeah,
with
they're paying him
And-
70 million to do a new
And
special.
also, sometimes as a musician myself, you sometimes cross over with comedic performers on occasion. The Rock, who I happen to be friends with, the rock band Bare Naked Ladies, especially
Yeah.
when Stephen Page was still in the group. You know, they're from up north from Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
In their early tours, they toured with this was during the early 90s, while my other band was also still starting out. They toured with this little group called, comedic folk group called Porky and the Juice Pigs.
Corky the Juice
Yeah, it was
Pigs.
hilarious. Yeah, you'll look them up when you look at the.
We should do an episode on
Yeah.
Corky and the Juice Pigs.
That's why some of their early stuff from the early '90s, you hear some little comedic overtones in some of their lyrics that they write.
Yeah.
It's some,
Well, no,
this
are
is
you-
before the Hitmakers?
Now, are you in a band currently? What's
Well,
your?
I think we're gonna do a reunion, but it probably over in Poughkeepsie, New York, my hometown.
What about Enfield, Connecticut? I have a.
And
What? Public Access and
And you came all the
Chill.
way from New York.
Or here. Why don't you do one at Willimantic
Well, today
Records?
we did. We came from Potsdam, New York today, but we live in Connecticut now. But I'm
Yeah.
from.
Here?
Well, we live in Salem. I'm from Saratoga Springs, but I was visiting my college roommate up in Potsdam. So
Believe it or not,
Poughkeepsie's not far from Saratoga.
my connection to Potsdam, New York, was my first college acceptance letter from Clarkson University.
Oh hell yeah,
This guy's got.
yeah.
He is the
I didn't
perfect
go to
audience
school in
member.
Yes,
Potsdam.
he
I
is.
went to a private Catholic school in Vermont, but
Where, St. Michael?
no, St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph's?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's put a bow on this episode real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on.
My
This-
sister-in-law went to Clarkson University School of Law.
Oh wow,
So, yes.
What kind of law does she do?
Oh, she does corporate.
Nice.
Uh,
We
Eric
need her at
Wilkins
Meat
is
Slap
at UConn
podcast
Law.
then.
yes, we do.
It's
All
not-
right.
It's not a fun, I can tell you it's not a fun job.
Well, dude,
Getting this.
this has been fucking great. Thank
been a lot of
you
fun.
guys for coming out. The few people that are still here. How about a hand for Willimantic Records for letting us do this? Seriously. How about a hand for Ham Clancy, Rodney Normand, I guess me. Thank you for. You can follow I Can't Comedy. It's live on the Public Access and Chill YouTube page, pretty much exclusively. So go to publicaccessandchill.com to find all of our videos, or go to our YouTube page. It's easily you can find all of it. Lots of skit shows, Charlene Cuisine, Public Access and Dill, Rod stuff.
You know who I should invite here?
Who's that?
Barats and Beretta. You ever heard of that?
No.
You should try to look them up.
What's that?
Barats and Beretta. It's a comedy duo.
Brats and Beretta?
Yeah.
Are they Connecticutianers?
No, they're. I think they're from Washington, but I think because only because I saw a Bare Naked Ladies video that featured them, the comedic group.
Oh wow,
Hell yeah.
It said, "Brad, we're making a new video. What video? The one for the Bare Naked Ladies."
nice.
I think the song was called "Sound of Your Voice." Look that up.
Oh cool.
We're gonna look it up.
Look
Yeah.
up Barats and Beretta.
We'll look up Brats and Beretta if you go to publicaccessandchill.com and watch all of our videos and give us a thumbs
And
up.
of course,
Yeah,
Corky.
I'll try to do that.
Yeah.
And-
How often do you do this podcast?
We do this once a month, usually on a
I
Sunday.
accidentally
Yep.
came to Sir because all I went here was just check out the indie record store to see what records they have that I can.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. They have
Yeah.
tons of live bands here all the time. They really support their shit
Yeah,
here.
this
I
is a
love
great place.
Willimantic
It's like
Like
Records.
the only indie record store that I know of that's between Hartford and Providence.
This is the
And
only
this is
one
the
you need to
best
know
one
about.
in the world.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Will
We
Yes.
get our comedy records for the show here, and we got our record player here. You should definitely check out Willimantic
Yeah,
Records
they're
if you
great.
haven't. Willimantic, Connecticut.
So
Was it 75 Bridge Street? Hell yeah.
You guys are based out of here?
Yeah.
Out of Connecticut, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys, are a comedy group together or? Are you separate?
No.
We're all
He and I are a couple, so we podcast together and do stuff together, but we all contribute to the same
Yeah.
sketch group.
Oh, wow.
Public
comedy's
Access.
like an IC
and
thing.
Rodney's like a real deal comedian.
I think there was one
So is Brian.
young woman that was also.
We all are.
That was
All right.
featured in the video.
Yeah.
It was funny that she does all the imitations of Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, cool.
Instrumentation. I forget what it is, but I heard she's from Connecticut.
Wow.
Ah.
Lots of Bare Naked Ladies trivia facts. Just I feel like I'm prepared for my next bar.
I
trivia.
can't wait for this episode to
They're
come
still
out.
touring.
It's like Joan Rivers and then like bodies, dead body market,
Body
bare naked
program,
ladies,
Bare Naked
On
Ladies.
stage.
a
You
Potsdam,
could
New York
body
reference
program.
somehow.
Bare
Wait, don't
Naked
tell
Ladies.
those guys that you met. Don't tell Ed Robertson that you met me here.
Okay, well you are on Facebook Live, so